So it's 8:29 and I got into my apartment without issue. Thank God. You know, I'm just so lucky I have a landlord that's just like, "Oh, you locked yourself out again. Haha, you're a dumbass. Yeah, see you in a couple minutes." That actually trusts me with this giant bag of keys. And yeah, it is a giant bag of keys. What I really been meaning to do, but today's not the day to do it because I don't have the tags to do it, is some of these keys are obviously not still to my apartment. Um, so I should have, this bag should have four keys in it, and it has one, two, three, four, five, six, seven, eight, nine. That's one it should definitely have. 10. So it should have four keys. It has 10 keys. I keep telling Lon every time he gives me the keys, I'm like, you know what? That's way more keys in my apartment shit than you should have in the bag for my apartment. I should really, I should really like sort those and label them for you. And I don't, I don't have any of these. I'm gonna buy those when I go to, when I go to, 8/2016 mail key 7/28. Three keys only, August 12/11. I could tell, like, at one point in time, like, Lon was doing something with this and he's just given up. That one just says 5 on it. That one's got a piece of tape that says 5 on it. Yeah, so there's been keys changed over the over the years, obviously. Two of which changed by me, and I always, give my landlord copies of the keys because, pursuant to my rental agreement, he's supposed to have that. But more importantly, so I, so I can get keys from him when I lock my stupid ass out, which, as you see, I do incredibly too often. All right, may as well leave the change here and put it in the change cup. Oh, these are my jeans from work last night. I just forgot to do the pocket ritual, where I take everything out of my pockets. Oh, Mexican candy. Forgot I had that. Yeah, this is the kind of bonuses that we get at Amazon. Like, we don't get sizable raises, but every now and then they walk through the building, give out Mexican candy, and ask us to do an online survey. Okay. And of course, the funny thing is I'd already done that particular survey, but I'll take the Mexican candy. Thank you. Credit cards and a little bit of cash. All right, I didn't have to use the pockets. I forgot to do the pocket ritual before I headed out the door. That largely sums up why I didn't have my keys. Okay, so like I said, I generally get by on muscle memory because I forget stuff. And yeah, part of that is everything, everything in its right place and things being in specific pockets. And those keys and the extra hair tie need to go in the right front pocket. It always messes me up if I have a pair of pants that doesn't have. I'm just gonna leave that on the bed for now. That doesn't have that pocket, like it's got a hole in that pocket or something. As then my keys end up going somewhere else, and it just messes me up. All right, I'm probably gonna get some negative comments about the hallway still being this dirty, but whatever. Oh, and here's a teaser of other stuff to come today. So I do kind of have to deal with the challenge of my own hoarding tendencies. I went a really long time. I got so used to Priscilla emptying the mail, and then me getting the key away from her because she kept losing my mail, and then the final straw was her leaving the mail key, which is now right up here by Jack and my little little tripod, my little cell phone camera tripod thing, which I've used a little bit on some videos. I feel like I can put it back here without her disappearing with it, since she doesn't even come here at all anymore. That's my Amazon bag. Normally that's in my bedroom, but I just put it in there when I got home from work early this morning, late last night. But yeah, this box here It's everything that came out of my mailbox, which is so bad, like not yesterday, but the day before, I actually got woke up by my mailman, like ringing my bell and knocking on my door, asking me to empty my mailbox because he couldn't squeeze any more mail in it. I'm amazed how all of that squeezed into my mailbox. It was insane. A lot of it's crumpled up. That's not on my mailman, that's on me. Although I wish he'd just quit. I do wish he'd just stop delivering me garbage. Like that's not, I don't want that. That's garbage. Anyway, what's underneath the mail is my stuff from West Tech Recyclers, aka Ghettotronics. I do want to do a video about that later today, or a segment, a video about that. I did mention I got a Betamax VCR. That is it. It's not a Super Beta Hi-Fi. It is merely a Beta Hi-Fi. But still, very, very nice VCR. Probably some good money I could get out of that on eBay, but I really want to add that to my bedroom AV system. Yeah, still got the CDs and records and tapes that I went through not last weekend, but the weekend before, and made the video of. If you didn't see that video got very few views. I think it's kind of interesting for my channel, but it's probably long and drawn out and boring to most people. But I'll put a link. Try to remember to put a link in the description. It's not titled as Dan Vlogs, because it's not really a vlog. It's kind of its own thing, but I think I just call it Exploring New Media or something. What else I got sitting down here? Let's see. That's the cord to the VCR. Taco Tuesday on the way home. I got some Del Taco, so I got some packets here. That's another one of the tapes. I'm not quite sure what that stuff is. Probably receipts. Oh, it's some karaoke slips from last week. I do try to go through every karaoke slip that I get that has a song that somebody asked for that I wasn't able to find. That's a box from a chocolate pie that I ate recently. I know I should put in the garbage, but I really try to put boxes like that into the recycle bin as opposed to the garbage. What do I got over here? Oh, I found that in my car. That stuff I found in my car the other day coming out of my car. I need to clean out my car too. But yeah, some stuff from my dentist. I do have my follow-up appointment with my dentist tomorrow. I got to remember that. And then Tim, the karaoke DJs at Wander Inn, her husband had given me some spare. Ouch! VCR just went down. Not cool. No, stay up leaning. Thank you. Had given me some battery chargers because they use rechargeable batteries on their microphones as well, and I had mentioned that mine had disappeared. I honestly thought Priscilla had moved it or whatever. Come to find out, it fell behind the washing machine, which I still blame on Priscilla because she kept putting so much garbage on my counter that really doesn't belong on the kitchen counter, which is what does belong on the kitchen counter is my battery charger for my microphones. And anyway, found that in the car. Never did make use of that because I did end up finding my charger first. And yeah, bank receipt. All right. Anyway, I got to get this back to lawn. I don't know if I mentioned it. The main thing that I know I mentioned it casually in a couple of videos, but the main thing that I went to West Tech Recyclers for was to get a DVI cable so I could properly set up my computer in here to work on music, which I haven't really done much of. And obviously I'm going to have to take it down today before I go to my show tonight. But very first, I got 4 of them. Very first one I tried worked just fine. And when I booted, it went to the exact same setup that I do for my show with the 1280 by 1024 control monitor here. And I don't really do too many videos about how I do karaoke and the technicalities of it, but there's my screen resolution and setup, and because those 2 screens, that's the TVs and then that's my control screen, are the same width, 1280 by 1024, and of course I get the best view on that because it's recommended because it's the native resolution of the panel. And then of course 720p is not recommended. It for whatever reason it recommended. Oh, I know why it recommended 1080p. Anyway, it recommended 1080p, but at least it recognized the setup when I booted and went to the 720p. Yeah, 720p is just pretty much compatible with any bar widescreen TV. I mean, I tried doing my show in 1080p for a while, and I didn't notice any real quality improvement. I mean, if I was up close to a TV and I was playing a 1080p video or a downscaled 4K video, I could definitely see a minor better quality in the video. But overall presentation of the show, most people aren't paying that close of attention to the TVs and aren't that close to the TVs, and it normal for just normal usage of like how I do my karaoke show, the 720p just seemed to be a lot problematic. Less problematic, and just things work better and things sized better, and all my background images are optimized for the 720p TV screens. So I'm kind of having a fight with my smart TV right now. At one point in time, I took the remote out of the living room because I got sick of Priscilla never wanting to spend any time with me in the bedroom, but always like a bump on this couch watching my TV, which I never ever got to use anymore. Even when I would come home and I'd want to use my TV, I couldn't because she's watching fucking kitchen shows or other kinds of programming that I just absolutely detest on my TV. Bitch, go home, watch that on your own TV. Oh, that's right, you don't have a home anymore. Thank God she finally does now. Yeah, if I'm not watching TV, I like this screensaver. I like this screensaver a lot, which one of the features of this TV when I bought it was Google Cast, which later got renamed Chromecast, and later they created Chromecast devices. But this TV actually predates the Chromecast devices, and functionally has a Chromecast built into it, and that's it's functionally the operating system of the TV. But of course, it's a little more comprehensive than just what a Chromecast will give you. But as far as like all the media features and app features, it's the same as using a Chromecast, including the screensaver, which I'm really fond of. It's always just a slideshow of some really beautiful pictures, which I think livens up the room, since most of the walls are just shelves of media. So it's kind of, and not that I couldn't open the window and look out, but I'd rather not. It's just kind of nice to look and see what's the size of a big window, and see the Rockies or a beautiful waterfall. I wish that one. Sometimes there's a caption that says where it is, and other times, like Connor O'Neill, I'm sure that's a credit to the person who took the picture. That looks like the waterfall I went to see with my daughter in Oregon. It was just west, or I'm sorry, just east of Portland. I forget the name of the falls. Monomoth Falls or something else I can't pronounce. It was really beautiful. We did a nice walk up there. I don't know if that's it, but it sure looks like it. And I like the fact that, like, I do, as I've mentioned before, I really struggle with my sense of time. Like, I just lose track of time. I don't feel like I experience time. With my mental health issues, I don't feel like I experience time the same way other people experience time. So without visible clocks, I kind of struggle. Or unless I'm outside, I'm pretty good at telling what time it is by the shadows, by where the shadows lie, because I do actually know how to use a sundial, and I like the fact that we don't have daylight savings time here in Phoenix, so sundials are accurate all year long. But yeah, for me, it's really helpful to have more visible clocks, the better. So I like that just on my TV. And the fact that it's got the little weather widget built in as well, that it's 79 degrees and sunny. So yeah, it probably was 77 when I was walking over to my landlord's place. Oh shit, that reminds me. I've got my landlord's keys. I need to get those back to him. God, I completely forgot about that. So I'm having an issue with the TV. So I don't know where the remote is because I took the remote away to kind of discourage Priscilla from using my TV 24/7. And I don't know, maybe clean up her mess in the kitchen, or maybe put some more effort into finding an apartment of her own, like she claimed she was going to do years before. One of the reasons I bought this TV is, unlike a lot of modern TVs, it does actually have controls. Now, granted, they're not complete controls, but it has 7 buttons on the back. So unlike a lot of modern TVs, it isn't useless without the button. But right now, since when I was last using this TV, I've changed my Google password. It keeps coming up to this spinny thing, and sometimes it seems to get stuck on this screen, and other times it gives a pop-up saying, verify it's you, need your Google password, which of course I can't do with the remote, and I don't have the remote, and I don't know my Google password. So as if getting my iPhone back onto my Google account wasn't enough motivation to try and recover my Google account, now I got this issue. I mean, I do have multiple Google accounts. I have at least one Google account that I made specifically for this TV that I don't even remember what that login and stuff is. Yeah, when you have those kind of the memory challenges I have, things can be difficult. So when I hit that button, which takes it off the screensaver, it just gets to the spinny circle that it never seems to leave. And it seems the only way to get it back to the computer screen, which is a big pain in the ass, is to switch this over to video 1, which is analog composite input. It's just going to a blank screen right now because that's my Laserdisc player. But for one, my Laserdisc player is turned off right now. But even if it wasn't, when I select the audio on my receiver to, I think it's TV focus. Come on, focus. DTV CBL. DTV cable. Input, DTV cable. I guess that's what CBL stands for. Wow, and I've got it set on straight as opposed to the 7-channel enhancer. Oh, yeah. Okay, the straight is one of the features on here. I think it's that button where instead of going through any of the audio processing features, so this is a Cinema DSP, a home theater receiver. Instead of going through any of the audio processing, it just takes the input, whatever channels it is, in this case, stereo. Well, actually, it could be stereo or it could be 5.1 coming off this TV. It's a Toslink optical cable that runs from my TV to the receiver, but it just does a straight pass-through directly to the speakers as opposed to any additional audio processing be added by the receiver. I change that mode all the time, but yeah, it's in straight. It's been working fine for me in straight. Anyway, yeah, in order for me to get the blue screen from my Laserdisc player to pass through it, that needs to actually be set to DVR, which I figured out the other day is the Laserdisc player. But I'm going to leave it on there. But I found that I got to switch it to a different input to get off that little spinning circle of Google TV being confused. And then once it kind of tries to tune in that, for lack of a better term, tune in that input, then I got to switch it back to HDMI too. And there's the Bullocks Cocktails background. And I can switch that to any of my backgrounds. Let's close this. Close that. There's my Songbook DB website. What is this? Oh yeah, we're done ripping that CD. Okay, I can close that. Ripping that Tom Petty CD that I was talking about 2 weeks ago in my videos. And I don't see me playing that much because there's not really any hit songs on it, but I'm all about having at some point the entire Tom Petty discography digitized in my digital music library. And it seems like maintaining a digital music library is something that's just sort of fallen by the wayside with most people, since it's so much easier to just stream. But being that I DJ for a living and I just kind of like having my own stuff as opposed to being reliant on an internet connection, I'm still constantly growing all my libraries. This is my karaoke library. This is my that's the thing, the CD I just ripped. This is my music video library, and this one over here is my MP3 library. So as you can see, I got a pretty substantial collection of Tom Petty going on. Got full albums, You're Gonna Get It, Hard Promises, Long After Dark, Full Moon Fever, Wildflowers, and Mojo, and then a directory of single tracks by Tom Petty and single tracks from Tom Petty and the Heartbreakers. I don't always break apart artists like that, but I don't know, to me there's definitely a difference between Tom Petty solo and Tom Petty and the Heartbreakers, and I've got so many Tom Petty songs that it just makes it a little easier to deal with splitting those up. What was I? Oh, I gotta get those keys back to Lon. I'm surprised he's not blowing up my phone, asking what's taking me so long and wanting to go somewhere. I just wanted to put a background up here. It's my library of random backgrounds. Some people get offended by this one, but it cracks me up. It's called beer goggles. It's called beer goggles for obvious reasons. Yeah, beer goggles. Oh, all the times I've gotten home with the woman in the glass and woken up with the woman behind the glass. Oh, reminds me of that a joke Billy Currington makes on one of his videos. Where he's like, "Yeah, I went home with a fat chick once, a bunch of times." After he asked the audience, "Hey, have you ever gone home with a fat chick once?" Like, shut up, man. She's sitting right next to me. Oh, shit. I'm about ready to head out the door and forget the keys that are going back to lawn. That would have been bloody brilliant. Anyway, I'm going to go back and come back and sort this stuff out. That's another suitcase of laundry I got going on. Don't know if I'm going to do my laundry today, but I might. And this is all the stuff from the homeless lawsuit, which I haven't read yet, but I am going to get on that and get you guys some more information on it. I'm kind of the problem that I've lost the CD that has the complaint in it, which puts me at a bit of a loss. That's always the first thing you should read in a lawsuit. But since I don't know where that is, and I do know where that stuff is, I'm going to start with that stuff and kind of get up to date on that. Oh, which reminds me, since it's getting that time of day, hang on. Let me do a little bit of this right now. Dang, it looks really washed out in the video, but okay, the crumply one is the notice for continuation. This is plaintiff's response to defendant's motion to dismiss. That's going to be a fun read. Which the response to the motion to dismiss is notably thicker than the motion to dismiss. City of Phoenix just wants this to go away, and they want it to, they basically want to say it's not our problem we have homeless people in our city. And it really is. I mean, is it their fault? No, but it definitely is their problem. This is, my vision is not playing nice with me today. Plaintiffs reply in support of their application for preliminary injunction. I'm a little confused as to what's going on with the preliminary injunction in this case. This is time set for return hearing regarding plaintiff's application for preliminary injunction. Okay, so they already had a hearing on the preliminary injunction, so I need to catch up on that. I missed that hearing, unfortunately, so I need to figure out exactly what happened with that. Defendant, City of Phoenix's motion to dismiss. I just read the first page of this, and this just cracks me up. I'll read it to y'all here, if I can get my eyes to focus. I'm gonna have to get some reading glasses. It's just not happening without glasses of any kind. I think these are readers. There's several pairs of glasses left behind that I thought were Priscilla's. This definitely isn't a pair of mine, but I don't know, the two pairs of glasses that I put in that big box that she was mad that I packed. I was like, why'd you put those in there? I said, well, because they're not my glasses. Assume they're yours. So at this point, I'm not making any effort to return any other glasses. Yeah, that didn't help. That did not help me read that. All right. 3D glasses. Those are the two that I put in the box for her that she said are not hers. God, there's usually readers up here. Ah, there's a pair. Oh, and of course it's missing one of the ear thingies. Don't give a fuck. Just need to be able to fucking read. You know what? Fuck this. Let me get my magnifying glass. Oh, it's not working either. God. I need LASIK so bad. It's a real struggle not being able to see. Just stop using my reading glasses so much I don't know where the fuck any of them are at. And I used to always have like 2 or 3 pair handy around this room so I could read. Well, I guess I'm not going to be able to put it where you guys can see it. I just got to put my face like 3 inches away from it and close my right eye. So defendant, City of Phoenix motion to dismiss. This is a nuisance action. As I explained before, they call it a nuisance action. No. It's not a nuisance action, City Phoenix. You got a real problem. For you to refer to this lawsuit as a nuisance action just shows how little you care about the homeless situation. here in your city. Hello. This is a nuisance action dressed as a special action and constitutional claim. Plaintiffs are aggrieved about the presence of unsheltered individuals near their residences or businesses. Plaintiff's complaint is legally deficient in several respects. Whatever viable claims they may have, if any, the complainant fails to state them. Plaintiffs are seeking to use a special action instead of mandamus relief to compel otherwise discretionary enforcement activity. I love how they call it discretionary enforcement activity. Since when did enforcement of the law become something that's discretionary? I'd like to know that. That's a real problem in society. It shouldn't be discretionary. The law is a law. It should be enforced. You don't get to pick and choose which laws you... For the city to pick and choose which laws it enforces, would they accept citizens just deciding to pick and choose which laws we want to obey? The laws are discretionary. I don't want to obey that law today. Ridiculous. Compel otherwise discretionary enforcement activity, which is improper under Arizona law. Notice they give no argument as to how that's improper under Arizona law. It's my understanding Arizona law is to be enforced in Arizona, as is every law everywhere else. Although that seems to be something that's disintegrating in American society, but I digress. Further, they cannot use injunctive or declaratory relief as vehicles to obtain the extraordinary remedies they seek. Oh, really? I bet they can. This sounds like the same shit Arpaio filed when people were suing over the conditions in the jail and saying, oh, we don't have to do that stuff. And the federal judge was like, oh, yes, you do. Finally, plaintiffs' constitutional claims are based on academic theories that have been rejected. Now, hopefully they've got they have a good, some points and authorities to back that up. Because that is possible. That is possible. I'm not as well versed in that sort of law to know if that's a fact or not. What else we got here? Defendant, City of Phoenix's opposition to plaintiff's application for preliminary injunction. Man, there's just been this whole action over the preliminary injunction. I missed it. Okay, here's the one. This is what I was looking for. Minute entry. Oral argument set. Court is in receipt of an email containing a request for use of recording devices pursuant to Rule 122, Rules of Arizona Supreme Court. The email shall be filed. The record of this matter. The hearing on this request will be held in advance of the October 2022 hearing. October 27th. So that's the next oral. The oral argument, I think, on the motion to dismiss is on October 27th. Is ordered any party... Written objection will be filed no later than August 10th, 2022. So, yeah, if any of the parties has an objection to this and they want to do it written, it has to be done by then. If no objection is received by October 10th, 2022, the party's objection to use of recording devices at the October 27th, 2022 hearing will be waived. This is all specifying the October 22nd hearing, but I'm sure whatever decision gets made regarding this email will probably, unless the press does something stupid, not like that hasn't happened before, that'll become basically the rule of this case through the, most likely the rule of this case through the pendency of it as it goes through court. So anyway, the 10th, I wanted to really check this right now before I head out and give the keys back because I wanted to make sure I didn't miss this hearing. But obviously today's the 6th and written objections have to be done by the 10th. So the hearing obviously has to be after the 10th. Here we go. Further ordered, setting oral argument on the request for camera coverage for October 13th at 9:30 a.m. Somebody remind me. Send me a message via YouTube comment. October 13th, 2022, 9:30 a.m. Dan, be at that courthouse. Appear in person. Counsel the parties representing themselves are to appear in person. I'm not a party. I do think sometime between now and then I want to go back to the clerk of court. I can get these keys back to Lon. I want to go back to the clerk of court and oh, by the way, this does more than just display pictures of fat chicks. Let's just show how my karaoke works real quick. Yeah, I'll put it into the playlist and boom, croaky. Prepare for immediate start. I think the audio is switched on for it. Oh, there it is. Level's pretty low. Oh, the level's going to be really low because this is an old new tech track that I haven't done an audio adjustment on. Yeah, it's not even loud enough to show up in the spectrum analyzer. Oh, that's just a guide melody. This part's a cappella anyway. Man, nothing messes up inexperienced karaoke singers more than an a cappella intro. When does the music start? As soon as you start singing it, sweetheart. All right. I need to get out of the habit of locking that door and replace that muscle memory action that just caused me to waste, this hour of my life that I'm not getting back, and just get used to always locking that. And then if I choose to, lock the other one, I can always come and do this, because it's just that action of turning that lock and heading out the door and figuring, well, Priscilla's here. I don't need the deadbolt. I just kind of need the deadbolt to keep Priscilla out. Okay, usually this makes that lock. What am I doing wrong? Okay, now it's locked. And that's where I stand. Recycling bin. That's where I stash my drinks. Hopefully they're not too warm. Oh my God, 31 minutes of fucking video I shot. I'm surprised Lon is not blowing up my phone. Oh, speaking of Lon blowing up my phone, shit, I don't have my other phone. Damn it. I just need to get my shit together today. Okay, keys going back to Lon. Beverages and phone cords. It's already getting so hot and sunny, I'm probably not going to get anything done on my recycling. Yeah, I'm down to 10% on my battery. That's fabulous. Oh, it still needs to go in the car. Damn it. Getting the keys out, I dropped my hair tie. Keys out, I dropped my damn hair tie on the ground. It's amazing I function at all. Any question why most people with my kind of mental health issues have guardians? All right. I'm trying to navigate 2 keys. I always wonder why it is that keyless entry is such a standard feature on cars and has been for so long, but keyless entry is almost unheard of in houses and apartments. Like, seriously, how cool would it be if I had a fob? Of course, I'm sure it wouldn't take long if devices like that were common for people to figure out how to hack them. All right, here's my other phone. I forgot I left it on the bed. As Lon sent me a message saying, hey, dude, get your ass back here with those keys. Message from job to careers, healthcare traveler jobs as an RN first assistant. Yeah, I'm not qualified for that, not remotely close. Oh, got a response to a YouTube comment or something. Message that a download is complete. I'm pretty sure that already has been uploaded, but whatever. Oh, look at that. There I am, just locking that with my thumb. Out of sheer muscle memory. I didn't try to do that. I just did that. Like, I didn't think, hey, I should lock that. Like, my thumb just did it. Just as I breathe without having to think about the fact I need to breathe. So I need to break myself of that habit, because that's become my habit, and that's what's always getting me locked out. Damn, my right shoe has become untied. All right. Phone needs to get out of my back pocket. That's going to be problematic. This video is way longer than it should have been. I forget what it was I started it for, but hey, I got distracted and took you along with me for the ride. Okay, my phone mount is at an oddball angle because I was trying to be able to see Priscilla's. Well. Well, damn it. I've got the camera in the upper left-hand corner right now. I need the camera to be in the lower right-hand corner to shoot video in the car. So I wonder what happens if I can pause this and not... I don't know if this is going to work. Nope, that didn't pause it. That just started another video. Oh well. At least I got it flipped around. I'm going to tie my shoe before I go any further. Because that always... I don't know why I struggle so much to keep my shoes tied. But I always have. Alright. On to the landlord's place. I really don't want to hear Linkin Park. Yeah, I used to really, really like Linkin Park, but I don't know, just lately I find their music to be really abrasive, most of it. Not to shit on Chester's memory. At one point in time, we were kind of friends, I think. Really makes me sad that I won't ever have a chance to run into him again and be like, hey, remember me? When I've had encounters like that with famous musicians, in most instances they have remembered me. Ronnie James Dio remembered me, and Ben Gibbard from Death Cab for Cutie totally remembered me. I hadn't seen him for years. Traffic alert.
Closures continue this morning on the Valley freeways. Let's get an update live from the Valley Chevy Dealers Traffic Center with John Roller.
Yeah, good morning, Jeff. Let's start in the North Valley with that closure of the westbound 303 right there at the I-17. We had an earlier rollover crash. Just got to look at it.
Yikes.
Two major cranes trying to get this semi back uprighted so they can get that roadway back open again. That is the 303 closed from I-17 to the Lake Pleasant Parkway. We had a fatal rollover crash earlier out in Tonopah this morning involving a semi. One lane is open in each direction right at Wintersburg Road there. Both eastbound and westbound lanes open at the I-10 due to that earlier rollover. We've got some crashes here in town. So
it never fails to amaze me how the entire world, and particularly governments across the United States, freaked out over 19, but yet daily fatalities in automobiles is just completely accepted as it's just part of life. That's just what we do here. We just die in cars and injure each other in cars all the fucking time, and that's normal. Pedestrians get hit by cars all the time. That's normal. We can't do nothing about that. That can't be fixed. I mean, imagine if, to prevent auto accidents, the government closed every road. Like, 2 years ago, they closed every business, except for the ones they deemed as essential. I just don't like the concept of the government deciding what is and is not essential. I'll make the decision. If it's my business, it's essential because it supports me. Government be damned. I'll take my risks.
I'm going to be joined in studio with Matt Salmon, former congressman, gubernatorial candidate. We're going to ask him about all the dirt, and we'll see if he's going to spill. So that's coming up 9:35. Let's start off this hour. We talked about the economy. We've been talking about the economy, and I think this is,
Mark Salmon.
This is the biggest issue.
Mark Salmon tapped out before the primary. What do you call it? Before the primary election even happened. I do think in all that giant pile of mail from me neglecting my mailbox for 2 months, I think one of the things that was in there is my early voter ballot. So I need to go through that. That's definitely not garbage.
We've always done the right thing. We manage our money. We live on a budget. We don't overspend. But because of the price of things, we're living paycheck to paycheck, or worse. You've got people that have been financially responsible, setting money aside as best they can, and now they're finding themselves putting gasoline or food on a credit card until payday. There is a guy that must be a.
And then trying to wonder how exactly their employer can justify 40 cents an hour as a cost of living raise.
I realized it was my bad business decisions. It was circumstantial. I mean, it was the economy that fell through the floor. But I put myself in that vulnerable position. It was a lesson I will never forget.
Going to my landlord's place.
And
I will keep shooting video though in a little bit.
And so that was an incentive to at least keep someone on the job that long to get their $1,000. And so there were a lot of things. There have been a lot of those creative ways that people are doing things now. But when you look at companies laying people off, you're going to start seeing a slowdown in this. And here's another one that should scare people. The World Trade Organization sees a sharp slowdown in global trade, pointing to possible recession. When you look at the world trade, it said world trade is in goods and projected to slow sharply next year under the weight of high energy prices. So a couple of things that play into this in the worldwide market. The world looks at us. They look at China. They look at Europe. You look at the drivers of major economies, and the U.S. is definitely one of them. When our economy begins to slow down, the rest of the world reacts, just like we react when China slows down. Well, the world is looking what's happening in Europe, especially in Europe, with what they're going to pay to heat homes this winter. What's happened with the Nord Stream pipeline, what's going on with their deal with trying to get Russian oil. They know that they're rationing, or they may be rationing some of their fuel oil and heatings of their homes, and people are going to pay huge amounts of money to be warm this winter. They're going to spend less money. The world's reacting. The World Trade Organization is saying next year this is going to have an effect. So when we talk about policy, when I use that word so much, it's because the failed policies of administrations around the world are leading to a lot of this. And one of those failed policies is coming from this administration. And it's hard to argue otherwise. And as a matter of fact, the approval numbers for President Biden have gone up a little bit, but it isn't going up when it comes to the economy, because people.
News is scary. News is scary. That lawn wasn't too put out by me taking as long as it did for me to get the stuff. In fact, I don't even think he noticed how long it took me. I apologize, and it's like, oh, no problem. So I did tell him I wanted to tag the keys, and he's like, oh, don't worry about it. It's all right. I'm used to just going through all those keys every time I open a door. I'm like, well, you shouldn't have to. I think I'm still going to do it next time I have the bag of keys. But hopefully that next time isn't for a long time. I can tell he's just like, dude, stop locking yourself out. Anyway, I'm going to the Circle K. Get my sip and save drink. I haven't got it yet for today. Oh, got a feeling by the time I get to my storage, it's going to be too late to do any recycling, crushing and stuff.